I meditated for 3 months straight and this is exactly what happened. Did my anxiety decrease? Did my happiness increase? Let's find out in today's video. Hello everyone, my name is Anuj. I'm a final-year MBBS student at Government Medical College Nagpur, and in this video, let's dive deep into meditation. So before I started my own journey of meditation, I wanted to know what was the actual history behind it, who started it, how did it progress to being such a big culture all over the world. Chapter 1, the history of meditation in India. We all know that meditation is a very ancient thing and people have been doing it for thousands of years, but it is all hypothesized to be started back in the Indus Valley, which has flourished in the present-day Pakistan and few parts of northwestern India. It is believed to be originated between 2600 to 1900 BCE. The earliest known references to meditation is found in the Indian Vedas, which dated around 1500 BC. The Vedas actually describe many different forms of meditation. The common ones that we know is chanting mantras, visualization, breath control, chakra focusing, and yoga, to just name a few. So in the Vedas, it is written that meditation is a thing which you can do to attain enlightenment, spirituality, inner peace, and harmony with the universe. It all seems too big of a promise in compromise to a very simple act of just sitting down and calming your own thoughts. Over the course of time, yoga and meditation became a very important part of the Indian culture. And during the medieval period, many prominent philosophers emerged. One of them was Adi Shankara, a philosopher and theologian who was believed to live in the 18th century BCE. He is considered to be the founder of Advaita Veda school of Hindu philosophy. Adi Shankara emphasized on the importance of meditation as a means of realizing the true nature of one. Fast forward a few years and you see the current state of India, which has been taken over by the Western world. With that, we enter the chapter 2, which is the chaos of modern life. The chaos of modern life refers to the fast-paced, high-stress and often overwhelming lifestyle that we all have currently, and that the modern society is actually characterized by overstimulation. We all are bombarded by notifications and so many messages in social media, news outlets or advertisements. As a result, we are always taking decisions every second of the day. Should I click this notification? Should I buy this thing or not? Do this, do that, whatever. This continuous overstimulation has had a lot of bad effect on our mental and physical health, and it's most difficult than ever to find inner peace right now. Meta-analysis and different studies conducted actually show an increasing trend of chronic diseases like diabetes, hypertension, cancers, depression, and so many other, to name just a few. Let's see how meditation can help us overcome the challenges that we face today, taking from the lessons our ancestors learned back thousands of years ago and applying it to our modern life. I welcome you to chapter 3, how does meditation improve our life? A meta-analysis study involving more than 1300 people actually showed that meditating can decrease your anxiety, and the more amount of anxiety you have, the more beneficial meditation is for you. So if you're a student who suffers from anxiety every time before a paper, after a paper, who comes back home and cries because the paper is not good and you actually studied for it, all this anxiety can actually be controlled by just simply sitting down and meditating a few minutes. Another striking study found that in 47 patients of chronic pain, just an 8-week meditation program decreased their chronic pain by a lot, which had a significant impact over their overall livelihoods. And not just that, their depression and anxiety came down too. Moreover, another study conducted showed that meditation also has a long-term effect on your body. Even if you stop doing it after a particular time, the time that you actually did do it affected your life overall. This was particularly evident when students who practice mindfulness and meditation in a class just for 1 month showed overall decreased incidence of depression and anxiety in the next few months. When I was a teenager, my parents definitely told me to sit down and meditate. I did not listen to them, never ever listened to them, but I really feel like I should have sat down and just closed my eyes and tried to meditate for a few minutes. I did not do that, but if you're a student who is watching this, don't make the same mistake I did. But if you're new here and want to see more of such educational, informative, well-researched videos, please make sure to hit the subscribe button because it really helps out a lot. And the content that you will see here will be definitely mindful. Finally, after all of that, let me share you my journey of meditating for 3 months and how it affected my life. I'll be totally honest with you, I was not at all consistent in these 3 months because I had exams, I had so many other things to do, I was out of station sometimes. Still, whenever I got the time, I tried to meditate, sometimes even underwater. The journey started in November. This was all due to an influence from my friend Parth Shahani, who is a very chronic meditator. I remember the first day very carefully. I sat down exactly in the studio, tried to focus and concentrate on killing all the thoughts which I currently had in mind. Definitely failed and I did not even succeed once. I did not even know what I was doing at the time. Instead of achieving a thoughtless state, I just tried to focus on my breath. And at that time, I did not actually research this properly, but this is one of the ways you can actually meditate. It's called as breath meditation. This is the point where you have to just focus on your breathing, listen to the sounds of your inspiration or expiration, tidal volume which is filling up your lung and then leaving the lung. How the turbulence of the wind passing through your trachea makes vibrations in your body. How when you exhale, the air comes out and just affects the entire environment. On the first day, I think my maximum time was 5 minutes. After that, I just stopped and then went to go study. Immediately when I went to studies, I noticed that my concentration was going on a bit longer. I did not feel the need to take up my phone and just do something random instead of studies. Definitely, even if you do meditation for a short amount of time, it's going to increase your attention span because you've just relieved your anxiety, you just relieved the stress, you are going to be more and more concentrated. Even if you don't have 20-25 minutes to take care of your mental health, just like I sometimes don't, just sit for 5 minutes, just calm down your body, focus on your breathing. It will have a really good effect for at least 3 to 4 hours. What you'll also realize after the first few sessions of meditation is something called as mindfulness. Mindfulness means being aware of one's own surroundings. You will pay more respect and pay more attention to the food that you're eating. You'll pay more respect to the activities which you're currently doing. You will actually feel so many different things that you never felt before just because you were not paying attention to them, because your mind was crammed up with so many different thoughts. This may not be exactly apparent by the time you do the first session, but definitely at the end of 1 week, you will feel this sense of mindfulness. By the end of the first 2 weeks, I was getting really comfortable doing this, and my span had increased from 5 minutes to a striking 10 minutes. I've heard people doing meditation for hours and hours and they feel like just 5 minutes have passed. By the end of 2 weeks, I was getting good at breath meditation as well as avoiding the thoughts which were coming into my mind. Slowly, I used to first block the new thoughts which were coming in my mind. अरे वो video कैसा चल रहा है, अरे वो क्या करना है, वो क्या करना है, वो क्या करना है. Slowly, I used to block these, and then after that, I used to block the existing thoughts. Okay, मैंने कपड़े अच्छे नहीं पहने, ये video कैसा आ रहा होगा. So these are all the existing thoughts. Eventually, to maybe progress to a state of thoughtlessness at least for a few seconds. It's really difficult to maintain that state because your mind is like chaos. It will try to move around if you try to control it. अरे मैं बताना ही भूल गया, to begin my meditation session, this is exactly what I did. I went to a place which was not very noisy because it can be a distraction. So my studio is a perfect space, एक छोटा सा कमरा where nobody at all disturbs me. Secondly, I chose a very comfortable position that would usually be in the normal sitting or in a half Padmasana fashion. Sometimes I was too alsy to get out of bed, so before sleeping, I just used to meditate for 5-10 minutes in my bed while in the supine position. And I would really not advise that because I could, I would just literally fall asleep. So sitting is what you should be preferring. The next part is slowly feeling the air around you move. The sound of the ambient birds or the rain which is present outside. Don't try to block anything at this point, just try to focus on them, just try to listen them. While you're listening to it, you'll see that your thoughts gradually decrease because you're paying attention rather than trying to put out your own conclusion. Once you've achieved that stage, now just try to listen to your own breathing sounds. Listen to all the things which I just said. The air entering your lungs, the air vibrating your trachea and moving out. The sound of the air exiting your nostrils and incoming from your nostrils. Try to focus which nostril the air is incoming from. Some people can also say they can hear their own heartbeats while meditating, and that's a medical condition known as palpitations. If you are having it without meditating, then you should definitely consult your physician. Anyway, you have done this breath control thing and you're having relatively less thoughts now. What I want you to do is say this to yourself. Okay, this is my last thought. 3, 2, 1. Silence. After that, don't say anything inside your head. Don't have any thoughts. Just try to suppress your mind, not being under so much pressure that actually cause more chaos. Initially, it will be difficult, but gradually it becomes easier and easier. You will feel amazing for the first few seconds that you are actually thoughtless. You are just one with the present. I personally cannot hold it for more than a few seconds, but those few seconds, it feels amazing. Once you are in this phase, you will see that you are part of the present. Your past is not influencing, your future is not influencing you, and you feel everything that is now. This is the present and you are a part of it. I also relaxed my skeletal muscles, so my arms, my legs, my trapezius, temporalis, masseter, all of these were just totally relaxed to ensure more cardiac output as skeletal muscle when relaxed. This decrease in systemic vascular resistance, which for non-medical people watching this, a way to kind of relax your heart. The last part, which I did not do every time but I did do sometimes, was to chant Om. So Om is like Om, exactly, you know what Om is. Chanting Om or chanting something else is extremely special because that is when you're chanting just one note, your mind will be focused on just producing that note. You won't have that many thoughts. It is a form of meditation in which you don't have to put that much effort into, but it's still good for you. The last step is rubbing my palms and just putting them on my eyes and then slowly opening them, taking everything that you've just experienced inside your body. And that was my one cycle of meditation. I did it like once or twice a day when good days were there, and I absolutely not at all did it when my exams were there because I was just so stressed. And I just did not have the time to come to the studio, sit down, blah blah. Ye sab excuses by the way. So what are all the effects I saw? I'll just tell you the most practical ones. I had exams in January. I started doing this meditation thing in November. During my university exams of Final-year MBBS, I had no stress. You can just go back and watch the exam saga videos. It never actually hit me that my exams are going to happen. It hit almost all of my friends. One or two guys went into complete crazy mode. I did have a few moments where I felt a little mental breakdown because that was because of the syllabus, not because of the exam. So I was not at all afraid for the exam. I did not have much anxiety as I did before, except for one paper because that was very difficult for me. Next was I knew that whatever would happen would be good, and I was feeling more self-confidence within me. So if you're, let's say, a NEET aspirant watching this, I think you've got your exam in May. Just sit down at least 5 minutes a day. You try to calm your mind. On the day of the exam where literally your life is on the line, तुम डॉक्टर बनोगे कि नहीं ये फैसला होने वाला है. Anyways, exams came, I got over it, stopped meditation for almost a month and then re-picked it up for the next 2 months during my practicals as well as this 1 month. So after roughly 3 months of doing it, here's my ultimate conclusion. It's really good for you. You should do it because it is absolutely zero fees, zero cost, no investment is required in it. Just sit down, try to calm your mind, do breath meditation, go thoughtless, and just enjoy your life. It does help in both a reduction of acute stress and depression and also in chronic stress, depression and anxiety. Helpful for every student who has an exam in the future or exam tomorrow. Studies have actually proven that meditation decreases cortisol in your body. Cortisol is not a good hormone. Cortisol is the hormone which is released in stress. So presence of cortisol in your body indicates some sort of stress is present, decreases cortisol and does make you feel better, which overall is like a primordial prevention for diabetes and hypertension and so many other diseases. So that was my entire journey. I would like to thank Parth Sahani, actually got me into all of this. I'm really grateful for his presence in my life and I'm really thankful to you guys for watching it. I also did a dopamine detox in the month of November. This is the video for it. You should absolutely check it out. It will just blow your mind because the results were so fascinating. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. It's your boy Anuj. I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye. Take care.